What I think the biggest issue with immigration is us not reframing the issue. We still talk about it from this very weird 1980s. It's a problem that people want to come here. No, the problem is that we have an organized way for people to come here. The only way, the reason America does not have negative population growth is because of immigration. The only reason America still has a service sector is because of immigration. The only reason America still has a manufacturing and a agricultural sector is because of immigration. Look at other nations who don't have the same immigration problems as us. Japan has a graying population that's going to come to a cliff in the next couple of years. There's not enough young people, and the young people aren't having sex. Look at China and their one-child policy. Now they're realizing the problem with that is you have more old people than you have young people, and the young people can't support the old people as that boomer generation gets too old to actually be able to continue in the workforce. We're seeing similar issues in India. So we talk about immigration like it's a bad thing, like it's some kind of virus coming in, instead of seeing it as the lifeblood of America, is because for some reason there are groups in this country that are very afraid of demographic shifts. That's actually, if you go back to the Mexican-American War, the only reason we did not annex the entirety of Mexico was because of the fear of demographic shifts, that you'll have a majority Mexican population in America that will lead to social unrest. We still have that exact same policy right now, instead of just saying, look, let's bring more people in the right way because that's the lifeblood of America.
Yeah, I don't really know of anybody who thinks that immigration itself needs to be ended entirely. I think the debate, at least on the right, is about how much legal immigration we should have at any one time. And so for any normal functioning country, you have to have, some limits on immigration. You have to have people assimilate. You can't have the whole planet come at once. That's completely destabilizing. So there has to be, some appropriate rate of flow into the United States of America. The people who are criticizing, I think, on the same basis you are, which is illegal immigration, the disorderly system. And it's not really, we probably shouldn't even call it immigration, although physically that is what happens. It's just simply illegal for foreign nationals to pour into our country without us having a say in how you get here and under what circumstances and whether you should be here at all. We have a say in that as a country together.
Well, yeah. Look, I agree that we have a say in it, but it should be some kind of logical say, some kind of thing that's like tethered to reality. I have a client right now who's been in deportation proceedings since 2015. The backlog is too large. You can live out an entire life waiting to be deported in this country, but at the same time, you have to live in the shadows. So there has to be a way to come to a point of not talking about this like it's still the 1840s and actually coming to an actual resolution, because most of the people who come here illegally, guess what? They don't want to stay here. Mm-hmm. They want to come here and work and go back home. The places that we go on vacation is where they live at. They don't want to go to Minnesota and pick cucumbers. They would like to just go there, work, and return back home. If they have a functioning system, then the problem kind of goes away once you can actually talk about it, not in these terms of, as the right says, invasion. They're stealing our sovereignty. What they say, the Republican National Convention in 2020, they want to destroy Western civilization as we know it. All these dog whistles to the people to make them think that there's this great population shift they need to be afraid of.
So I think the debate on the right, as I understand it, and Vince, you can kind of fill in here, but I think part of the debate is, what is America getting out of it? So one of the things that we see that's bipartisan is the Farm Worker Modernization Act, which I think Biden could say, look, this is a win. This is going to be bipartisan. We want to bring in farm workers in order, give them visas and give them options because it helps us, it helps our farms. A lot of the rural people actually want it. The other thing is that I think the right, like at least Trump, he was like, look, we want people with skills, you know what I mean? So we want people, tech workers and people that will actually help us build our economy. We don't need, the guy, the young man from Honduras who has no skills and is not a farm worker. So I think that's what the right kind of, at least that's the understanding of the framing that I understand. I think the thing with immigration that we need to understand is, if we really want to solve this problem, it doesn't start at the border. And if you just do that, you need the cooperation. I think one of the things Vince and I have agreed on is that, many people on the right were saying, hey, well, if you want asylum and you have an issue in Honduras, then why aren't you getting asylum in Nicaragua or in Guatemala or in Mexico before you actually get to the United States? You have other options. I think one of the things we do need is stable governments in the Northern Triangle and in Mexico, and for people to be able to, if they have to leave wherever it is they are, we need cooperation from those stable governments where not everybody has to come to the United States. But I think that there are a lot of workers that benefit our economy. This is why, I consider myself to be pro-immigration, is because like there are a lot of those people who actually help us and help our economy. And they've already done several experiments where they try to get Americans to do farm work for the wages that farm workers work for. It's not that we're lazy. It's that those wages aren't, something that, American citizens want to work for and do that kind of work for. So they've done experiments in North Carolina where, they tried to get people to do that work for that amount of money. And by the end, they have no one left.